Someone told me yesterday, I want my horse to always be in my head, constantly scanning what I want them to do next. And honestly, I think a lot of people feel that way. They imagine that in the wild, horses are always alert to the leader, that they instantly follow the herd stallion's every move without question. And from that idea, they believe that their own horse should always respond immediately to everything they ask too. But that's not how horses live. And it's definitely not how they communicate. So today, let's talk about a really important question. How long should we wait for our horse's response? Because the answer depends entirely on the kind of interaction we are in. Let's start with the first type, social interaction. This is the foundation of everything. It's a space where, in the wild, every horse can decide freely if it wants contact and do something with another horse or not. There's no pressure, no command, just a should we do this or that? And we can do the same. I can signal to my horse that I'd like to have contact, and then I wait. And if my horse says no, that's okay. It happens in the wild too. I can then either accept the no and do something else, or I can ask again maybe 10 minutes later, how about now? And then the answer might be a yes or still a no, and I accept that. So in a social situation like that, I don't expect immediate performance. It's a voluntary interaction. And horses, when they're in this space, will often take time. They reflect, they process. And yes, sometimes they say no or not now. That's normal and has nothing to do with questioning my leadership. And when we respect that rhythm, we truly step into their world. Now, the second kind of interaction is free guiding or leading. This is what happens when we are already connected, when we are walking together, moving together. Think of wild horses traveling to their evening resting spot. Yes, there is leadership, but even here, the reactions are not always instant. The herd stallion sets the speed and direction, but others follow at their own pace within this frame. There's room, there's freedom. If a horse is lagging, it may eventually get a little reminder, a look, a shift in energy, a gentle signal to move closer or keep up. And this is where we as humans can also lead without dominating. We can use our energy, our posture, position, and our clarity to invite a quicker response when it's needed. But again, the space for response is part of the conversation. And then there is a third kind of interaction, which is of course only happening with us, leading with a halter. This is where rules come in, because we live in our human world and sometimes we need to do things differently than in the wild. So once your horse has already said yes to interaction by coming to you and accepting the halter, it has agreed to a different kind of communication. It's no longer a free invitation. It's a mutual agreement. But even here, the tone matters. We can still offer space. We can still ask first, gently. We can say, are you ready? And if the horse doesn't respond right away, we might give it a moment. Then, if we increase our energy and give a clear signal, we can expect a quicker answer, just like a more focused cue within a herd would call for a faster adjustment. But if we want our horse to respond immediately in specific moments, like stopping at a street, we need to train that intentionally. That's conditioning. It's effective and it has its place, but we should never confuse it with natural social communication, because natural communication is slow most of the time, intentional. It happens in layers, and horses are not meant to live in constant readiness. A horse that scans you all day long, waiting for the next cue, is not in a peaceful partnership. It's in a low or even high-level stress response. And what I want is a horse that can be present, relaxed, and responsive when it matters, without needing to live in obedience. So, how long should we wait? As long as the situation allows. If it's a calm moment, give them space. If it's about moving together, lead clearly but stay fair. And if you need speed, raise your energy. And then yes, certain situations need conditioning, but kindly and ahead of time. But don't expect a horse to always be in your head. That's not trust. That's control. And it's not how horses live in nature. Okay, so now, please let me know in the comments. Do you give your horse time? or do you always expect it to answer immediately? And if you do, how do you think your horse feels about this? And if you'd like to go deeper into wild horse communication, leadership, and trust, check out my blog or my free intro series, Rewild. You will find both linked in the pinned comment below. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening to your horse. See you in the next video.